Welcome to the International English Language Testing System. This is a mock speaking test conducted by Maulik English Academy. This is Aisha. Today I am your practice examiner. Before the main text, I will ask you some personal questions. Can you give me your passport? Here it is. Okay. So, what is your full name?
My full name is Nashita Maliha. You can call me Maliha.
Okay, Maliha. How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
Okay. Do you work or study?
I study in class 7 at Manipur High School and College.
Okay. Do you have any hobbies?
Yes, I have hobbies related to drawings because I like to draw pictures of various sceneries and it also gives me pleasure.
Okay. Do you have any pet?
No, I didn't because when I was younger, I have I had two pairs of pigeons, but mistakenly I opened the cage door and delete the cage.
Oh, okay. Let's move on the part one. In this part, I will ask you some questions about clothes. So the first question is, where do you buy most of your clothes?
I usually buy most of my clothes from local shopping malls and from online stores, but I buy clothes on seasonal sales because I can find good quality items at reasonable prices.
All right. How often do you buy new clothes for yourself?
I don't buy very frequently. I buy clothes in every 2 or 3 weeks or in any occasion like festivals and family events.
Okay. Like you want to make me understand that when you need the clothes, you need to buy clothes.
I need to buy clothes when I had an invitation on any wedding or any festival. So then I buy clothes for that invitation.
Well, how do you decide which clothes to buy?
I shop clothes that feel me more comfortable and make me feel confident and mature and that suit my personality like casual wears for daily uses and formal events clothes for formal clothes.
All right. Have the kinds of clothes you like to change in recent years?
Yes, definitely. When I was younger, I I buy clothes that are more colorful and trendy. But however, now I buy clothes that suit my personality and also reasonable in price and comfort and in that will be in good quality and that's how I decide to buy clothes.
Okay, let's move on to part two. In this part, you have to talk about a topic for 1 to 2 minutes. So here is the topic. If you need to
No,
writing something, here's the paper and pen. Alert, your 1 minute time is over.
okay. So recently, I had an interesting discussion with my close friend, about how I spend my money. We talk this topic we talk this topic because she often spends her money impulsively on especially on clothes and fast food, and sometimes she gets it later. Uh, Okay. At the time of our discussion, I shared how I tried to divide my money into different categories like personal expenses, emergency funds, and savings. I also shared the importance of planning before buying something expensive. As a result of our conversation, she decided to make a monthly budget and track her expenses. We both agreed that we will motivate each other to save more money. I found this discussion interesting because it keeps me aware of my own spending habits, and as we both learn something valuable about financial responsibility.
All
Yes.
right. So now it's the part three in this topic. I will ask you some questions about money and young people. The first question here is, why do some parents give their children money to spend each week?
Some parents give their children pocket monies or weekly pocket monies for learning how to spend money in the correct way, and they will also learn from this how to spend money independently, and they will also learn something valuable like financial responsibility. So that's why the guardians give their children pocket monies.
Alright, do you agree that schools should teach children how to manage money?
Yes, I strongly agree that, but if the if the students' studies will not hampered for this job, part-time job is very important to the childrens because they will learn something expensive for his or her future. They will also learn how to arrange his room or her room and many personal things, and but education should be their top priority, and they shouldn't give much time on this. They should give their time on their studies, but they can work this besides their studies if their study will not happen.
Do you think it is a good idea for students to earn money while studying?
Yes, because I answered this question in the previous question.
Money.
So
You mix the questions or talk about these questions before.
yes.
Yeah. Alright. So want to mean that they should, but not that much.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now the questions about money and society. Do you think it is true that in today's society, money cannot buy happiness?
Money directly cannot buy happiness, but it can buy comfort and security. Money can, in these days, money can buy anything like comfort, pleasure, security, and etc. things. But happiness comes from true relationships with family, neighbors, friends, and it also comes from self satisfaction and health. So that's why money cannot directly buy happiness, but it can buy comfort and security.
Okay. All right. What disadvantages are there in a society where the gap between rich and poor is very large?
There is a huge gap between rich and poor, there will be many problems, and one of them will be that the poor ones do not have enough money to buy their own clothes or books for studying. As a result, the poor cannot learn much than the rich because they do not have enough money, but the richer people are getting the scope of studying much than the poor, and it will also affect in our society. And another example will be that disadvantaged people like poor do not get enough food to eat or enough health health support because they do not have enough money, but the richer people have enough money and they have more to utilize it. But sometimes the richer people do not need to utilize these monies and they are wasting monies, but the poor people are not getting the enough money, and so there is a problem between them, and sometimes the poor people are getting embarrassed in the society.
Well, the last question is here. Do you think richer countries have a responsibility to help the poor countries?
Yes, definitely, because the richer countries have more technologies, modern technologies, and they also have many economic sources, and they can provide their the poorer countries besides their own countries. The poorer countries do not have the modern technology in many, and they are not getting many sufficient amount of food or sufficient amount of earnings for their country. So that's why richer countries should help the poor countries. But uh, while helping them, the poor countries, the richer countries should notice that if the poor countries is being dependent on them, if they are dependent, it will create many problems in the future, and the poorer countries should take steps about it, and they should help them as they can also dependently earn money and uh, to develop their countries dependently, not independent on the richer countries.
Alright, this is the end of this part and this presentation too. If you like this video, tap the like button, and if you want more videos like this, subscribe to this channel.